breaking news. Welcome back, everyone. It's good to see everyone tonight. Yeah, a lot has happened in the past 24 hours, and a lot can still happen in the next 75 days or so. So I think it's good that it was kind of, obviously, I'm talking about the U.S. election. I think it was good that it was a relative blowout, so that it was too big to rig. Thank God. And again, I'm not speaking as a Trump fan in any way, shape, or form, but it's more of a. Um, I was concerned that I'm not a Democratic Party fan. The other thing that I want to mention is that things are going to get really interesting in the next few weeks. So starting on November 13th, there's the UAP hearing. I think it's at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. 8:30 a.m. Pacific. House Oversight Committee again. I'm not sure what it's gonna cover, but yeah, I think if there's anybody who has a motivation for disclosure, it's future President Donald Trump, or just President Donald Trump, given that he was president. Mainly because I think he held back the full disclosure on JFK, but now, I mean, I don't think he has any desire to assuage the permanent bureaucracy anymore. I think they're in trouble, and I say good. I think there's already been statements. I mean, I think part of what I want to discuss today is if I had to restructure the federal government and I had kind of a blank check, well, or not blank check, a target on how much money I needed to save, I think now's the time. So I want to get into that a little bit. Let me see if there's any initial comments. Hi, Gray Al. Good to see you, my friend. All right. So the other thing that's happening later this month is the second annual Soul Foundation event. So that takes place about 2 weeks after the hearings. So we'll kind of see where that's going. But I think, in the next 75, 76 days, however many days it takes since, January 6th, which there's also other cultural things that are changing in the background. One thing that I'm sitting on that it could be directly relevant to me or not relevant to me at all, but it's interesting what's going on in terms of like Silicon Valley folks who are kind of aligned against censorship and things like that. They're making some moves on the cultural side in the background, and that's all I'll say. But like good stuff. So, obviously won't talk too much about it, but let's see. Yeah, just people like to schedule meetings at 7 a.m. when they work on the East Coast. It's good stuff. But I think, again, the next 70 some odd days are going to be pretty dangerous, I think. I think the margin of victory was such that it'll be a little harder to fund, pay mobs to cause all sorts of economic distress and things like that. But I don't put that past some of these people. So I think we need to be clear about that. The odd thing is, in California, where I live, there was a proposition called Proposition 36. Normally, I don't vote on propositions at all, but this proposition was kind of interesting. And what caught my attention is that my county DA was against it. And if you know anything about county DAs, she was a Soros DA, and as you can imagine, she's a colossal piece of shit. And it basically, if you go to a Target or like a drugstore anywhere in my area, everything is locked behind these like glass cabinets, and it's that way because they don't prosecute crimes beneath $900. So wave after wave of shit stick come in and help themselves and take whatever they want. And as long as it's less than $900, nobody pursues it or anything like that. And what this proposition did was it just overrode those rules and just said that you have to prosecute these people, and if they commit more than a certain number of these actions, it gets classified as a felony. And apparently in California, which is, went blue, it still passed by like over 70%. Over 70% of voters said, no, we want you to lock these shit stains up. So while they're not kind of voting um, against the Democratic Party, they are voting against policies that favor criminality and illegal immigration and all that stuff. So anyway, I was happy to see that people out here haven't completely lost their minds. They actually believe in justice and rule of law and things like that to a degree, obviously. But they let it go on long enough that it got out of hand. It's fine as long as it's with the little people, the working class and stuff like that. But the moment it starts to impact the hoity-toity, oh, we can't have that. So there's a little bit of that's going on. So yeah, and then also censorship, right, has got to go. So in line with that, in terms of restructuring, what I would probably do on day one would be to basically fire everybody in the FBI, just shut it down completely. They would be fired, and then what you would do is you would have some component organization that would be in the Department of Homeland Security, and then they would have to they'd have to be re-interviewed for some of their jobs because you need a federal police force. But I think we'd probably be well served by just not rehiring the top half of the bureaucrats there that are all politicos and are the ones like the Elvis Chans of the world that actively encourage this censorship and on social media platforms and things like that. I would probably hire back. I would probably hire back about a third of them, just because you need cybersecurity and things like that. But the FBI as an organization would cease to exist. It's at this point, it's too tainted, given like raiding septuagenarians in Utah and things like that, like just unnecessary overreach, too much politicization. And by the way, wouldn't be the first time it happened. I think the Pinkertons was the precursor to the FBI, and they were also effectively dissolved because they went too far. So I think the rank and file, there's still plenty of good people in the rank and file there, but that whole agency needs to go. Just carte blanche, gone. Root and stem. They want to move to a new headquarters. No way. You're done. Obviously, you're going to still need cybersecurity, defense, and stuff like that. They can get new jobs in the Department of Homeland Security. Anyway, that's what I would say. I think RFK, I agree with a lot of what he's saying about how he's going to reorganize other departments. I'm not going to talk about them because I don't want to get in any trouble for medical misinformation. But yeah. Rich Geldridge. Yeah, I'm getting like multiple calls from people that I needed to talk to exactly 10 minutes ago, and now is the absolute worst time for them to call me, and they all obviously call them. So sorry, as soon as somebody calls me, then random windows pop up and people start talking. So I hope you didn't hear any of that, but it's just it's kind of annoying. Um, yeah, yeah, it's because somebody was trying to call me, and then app like the phone just takes complete control. So in fact, let me just shut my phone off because that's the only way I'll stop this insanity. Okay, so that's sorry, I had to listen to Sean Hazlett's iPhone lost. Sean Hazlett's iPhone lost. Anyway, I get really irritated that my phone hijacks my computer just because it happens to be an iPhone and I'm like a Mac. So anyway, sorry. Okay, so you have kind of like NIH, FDA, that stuff. Oh, ATF gone. No new jobs. You're just gone. Bye bye. Right? No need for that entire, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. Bye bye. Goodbye. Department of Education. Bye bye. I'm trying to think if there's any other places. Department of Energy, you kind of have to keep because they deal with like nuclear stuff. I wouldn't mess with that. Carve down EPA a little bit, but let's see. Yeah, I don't think they need to stay on Penn Avenue. I don't think they need to stay. That's my argument. Like, yeah. Well, not my car because my car is like an old. It's like a 2007 model, so they can't hijack my car yet. So, and I've held off on buying a new car because they're prohibitively expensive and unnecessarily expensive, and they're too tied into electronics. They've gotten rid of too many of the analog components. But IRS, the 87,000 agents that they said they weren't going to hire, that they started hiring anyway, bye bye. That are armed and things like that. Yes. So day one, you fire all of them, and then you make them re-interview for their jobs. I would focus particularly on the political action division. Those are the ones that do all these orange revolutions and things like that. I would run an investigation to see if they actually did it in this country. Because the other weird thing back in 2020, the other weird thing about 2020, there's like 15, it's like 100, it's like reliably between like 150 and 155, 156 million people vote. And then all of a sudden it like spiked to like 170 million or 180, something. I'm not getting the numbers right, but there was like a 15 million voter spike. To this day, Trump may have won this election, but Biden still had more votes in 2020. And I don't know, there's more people in the US than there were in 2020, and probably more people in voter age if you did like a demographic curve, right? So I don't know. I don't know where those extra votes came from. Did those people just stay home? Did they die? I don't know. It's just kind of weird, right? If literally, like, you should expect the vote to either be kind of stable to maybe a little bit down or up, right? But it shouldn't. You shouldn't have this thing that goes like this and then a big spike and then it goes like this again, right? Particularly in this election, which one could argue is even more contentious than the last one. So there's something fishy in the last election that should be heavily investigated. So let's see. Yeah, yeah. Like, and by the way, like Elon Musk, the Department of Government Efficiency, he will overcorrect. He will do like dangerous overcorrection because he's not He's not like he's a great visionary. He, is great at getting big things done, but he is not an operator. He just like tells people to do ridiculous things and keeps the people who are able to accomplish the ridiculous things. And then those people don't last very long because, you can't keep coming up with hat tricks over and over and over and over again. So he churns through people. Like I would never want to. I think he's a great guy. I'd love to have a beer with him. I think he'd be a great friend, but I would never work for him. Never. I know enough people who have. Not you don't want you just if you don't want to have a heart attack, like you shouldn't work for him. But and I say that with much love about Elon Musk. I think he's a good dude, but yeah, yeah, it's weird. I mean, 81 million votes. Like to this day, Biden is the most popular U.S. president by vote count in U.S. history. That's a fact. So let's see. Whoa, really? Where did you hear that, Lisa? So Lisa's saying LLC companies have to register again for a fee of $139, and the fine for not registering is $591 a day. Total collapse on war on small businesses. When did this happen? I don't know anything about this. I think it'll be positive. I think it'll bring some positive momentum because, I mean, Trump's a wild card now, right? He's a wild man. Who knows? Oh, is this the Corporate Transparency Act, Lisa? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, it'll definitely be positive. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. I'm thinking what else. What else I would restructure? The Marine Corps, I would probably fire their commandant because this genius got rid of tanks altogether. Like look, tanks are going to be more exposed, but you're still going to need them. You're still going to need them to achieve breakthroughs. You're just going to have to use combined arms with drones and tanks. But oh, FinCEN. I don't even know what that is. FinCEN stuff. What the hell's that? Let's look at ChatGPT. Let's see what FinCEN is. Okay. Yeah, now my ChatGPT is not working. All right, well, we'll close down ChatGPT and start up another one. We have to log in for the sixth time today. Oh my god. And there's new reporting requirements for this too. Why? Well, fortunately, I don't have an LLC yet. So, because I don't make what I think is enough money to, doing this to remotely justify it. But yeah, some of these messages I'm not touching. Let's see. Oh, Elon's ChatGPT is Grok. Yeah, oh, yeah, maybe I will. Well, I'm not touching that one. He won't. He's probably got too much going on. Yeah, it's on Twitter. I think on Twitter I'm in a tank. What do I think of the idea that faith and trust in all human systems is being intentionally destroyed, so a trustless blockchain AI can control things? No, I just I just think that the elites, just concentration of power got too high. They got bored with being ultra rich and wanted to control people's lives, and then they're incompetent at doing that. So it's the resulting breakdown from that. Oh yeah, maybe the age of Aquarius. Oh yeah, I'm thankful that the Democrats did not win. Um, I don't think the idea. I mean, Trump throws a lot around a lot of crazy ideas, right? So tariffs obviously won't be good. It might be good for like a protectionist measure to reinvigorate American manufacturing, but it will also cause inflation because any good company that runs its business well will just pass on this cost to the consumer. So I'm not super excited about that. However, if he gets rid of income tax um, as well, like it's kind of a twofer, maybe I could accept that deal. I'd be willing to pay more in the marketplace if I didn't have to pay an insane amount of income tax every year. So, um, let's see. No, he's not 100% good, but he's like a billion times better than racial Marxism and tyranny and global censorship. Like it's not even close. It's not even close. Let's see. Yeah, he's better. I mean, look, he's got his weaknesses and things like that. Let's see. Yep. Yeah, they are deeply wounded, and they're going to get even more wounded soon. I'm looking forward to it. Figuratively, not literally. But what I think also is going to um oh god, no, I didn't see that. Hold on. Yeah, yeah. There's something weird going on. Yeah, yeah. The 81 million. Yeah. So the other thing too is like what's going to happen. Yeah. The other thing is going to be what's going to happen from a geopolitical standpoint. I think this is probably going to delay a Chinese invasion of Taiwan because they don't. Because Trump's a wild man. They have no idea how he's going to respond. I think the Ukraine war is likely to end sooner rather than later with some sort of negotiated agreement. So we aren't constantly just blowing our tax dollars on a war to defend somebody else's borders, but not our own. Um, and then I'm looking forward to seeing INS deporting illegal migrants. This has gotten out of control, starting with the Venezuelan gangs. So And I'm not ashamed to say that. Like there are people who are legal immigrants who waited a very long time and did all the right things to get here, and it's not fair to them that somebody can just, as their first civic act in this country, break the law by coming in illegally. So I'm looking forward to that. Particularly seeing firefights in apartment complexes that have been seized by foreign gangs. I'm looking forward to that. No, I have not heard who the other two will be. I mean, I think I heard Luis Elizondo was probably one of them, but I'd like to see somebody new who is a little bit more, who's been closer to the action. Yeah, I would be surprised about the body doubles. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I heard Melon too. Melon, I think, was a. Yeah, and even our food supply, right? But again, that might cause some price increases, but I think it's good for everybody. Yeah, I don't line up with him on most stuff, but on the like health stuff, I think he'll be a. I mean, like the food pyramid, it's just BS. Should be inverted. Like it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. So yes, I did, Vidal. I actually reached out to him, and he didn't hasn't responded yet. I would love to have him on the show. But if you have a better email than the one that's on his public website, please do send it to me and I'll try to contact him. But I haven't heard anything. And he's been on a billion different podcasts. But those podcasts are mostly related to like the occult. Like they're very niche podcasts. So maybe he saw mine and maybe it was too broad. I don't know, but I would love to have him on. The guy's a fascinating guy. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about fluoride in the water system. I haven't studied that problem to any great extent for any great period of time, but we shall see. All right. While we're still talking, I mean, channel news. I think we're just talking about the election and then aftermath. I'm trying to think of what other random things might happen. Um, I've definitely interviewed people who are in the occult. I don't know. I wouldn't call it a fan. I would say uh, I have a healthy respect for it. A fan, I don't dabble in that stuff because I have a healthy respect for it. I don't. I try not to mess with it because I don't understand it. And if you listen to Dr. Steven Skinner, like there's things you have to do. You have to do it in a certain way. And if you don't, if you reach out of a circle or something like that, like bad things can happen to you. So it's dangerous stuff. So I, if I were, anyway, I would approach it cautiously. I'm interested in it. I'm interested in learning about that stuff, but I'm cautious. Uh, Interesting. If the fluoride is removed, yeah, I'd be interested to see if that would happen. Full on stink eye, huh? Yeah, he definitely and like he's extremely knowledgeable. Super soldier programs. I don't know. I mean, I didn't have any knowledge of them when I was in the army, so uh, don't know. I've had him on. I've had him on twice. I have 2 episodes of on with Eric Wargo. I've definitely had him on. You just have to. YouTube doesn't, and the episodes didn't do that well because YouTube doesn't promote this channel. So yeah, they're definitely. You also find them on Spotify. Like they're definitely there. In fact, I've heard this so many times. I'm like questioning, were they removed or something? Um, Let me see if I can find it. Eric Wargo. Yeah, that's the wrong. Sorry, I just had to watch the crazy lady, one of the crazy ladies on Better Health commercials. Um, Eric Wargo. Okay. Oh wow, this is old school. So, let me find it. Let's see. You guys are killing me. Of course, I've talked to Peter Levenda. He's been on like 3 times. 3 times. Two like pre-recorded interviews, and then once on the radio show. And those episodes are awesome. They're awesome because Lavenda is amazing. Those actually did better than the Wargo ones. Um, yeah, let me. I just have to like extract it in a workable manner. Just give me a second, and I'll show you. I'll show you which episode because I just pulled it up. Um, let's see. Okay, yeah, this is the episode right here. So this is like an old school episode too, right? Where I have that like proto audio thing. Let me see if I can. I don't know if you'll any of you'll be able to hear it, but I don't even know if you can hear that. Anyway, okay, all right, but that's that's where you can find it. No, I don't. No, I don't. I think he's going to try to get rid of bureaucrats, but I don't think. I mean, they're so slithery and swampy that they'll be able to outmaneuver. I mean, remember when JFK hired or fired Alan Dulles, who was the head of the CIA? He went home, and then his people still reported to him, Alan Dulles. And then after Kennedy was murdered, Alan Dulles was conveniently on the Warren Commission to help steer conclusions to the proper conclusion. So uh, that's the danger of attacking these permanent bureaucrats. Okay, let's see. Wait, he has a phone number on his page? All right, I'm definitely going to his page while we're online so that y'all can help me locate it. Of course, no. Mm, all right, so once again, I'm going to share this. All right, this is annoying. Oh my god. All right. All right. Where on this page is it? Because I cannot find it. I have the email here. Um Contact. There's nothing here. Okay. I mean, am I even on the right page? Yeah, I can't. Nothing. I got nothing. So stop share screen. All right, let me go through this. Interesting. Um yeah, they're good episodes. Yeah, they're really good. Trump has not said anything about the shootings. Do you think he will address this? What about I don't know if it's connected to the JFK file, but yeah, I think we need to figure out what happened. Yeah, welcome to YouTube. Um, yeah, could be. Linked it there. He has his number. Um, all right, I don't see the link though. Uh, I hope he doesn't bring in Bitcoin because that's just another step to the federal government controlling whether or not you are able to order steak if they kind of digitize the currency. Oh boy. All right, so go to that page. Okay, I have it in the background. Vidal. Yes, I'm definitely gonna. It actually costs money this year, so but anybody can reach out. Oh, it's on the Feng Shui page. That's why I didn't find it. Feng Shui magazine or fengshui.net. Um, maybe it's editor at Feng Shui Net. I don't know. I I Oh, that one? Do I have any reservations about any of Trump's team funders? Nope. Nope. Peter Thiel, I'm happy with. Good. Uh, uh, you know, no issues. Yeah. Yeah. Please post his number. Uh, at least I can try to reach out to him that way. Anyway. All right. While we're waiting on that, let's talk about some upcoming episodes. I'll just go through this pretty quickly. Okay. Uh, and I don't like the way that looks. All right. So I don't know when this one's going to appear because I still haven't seen the James Fox documentary. So this is supposed to appear this Monday, but I'll probably push it back again because I have no idea if that thing has appeared yet. So, unfortunately, same thing with this one. This will just be since it's the second in the series. Whenever the first one appears, it'll appear in the same, in the immediate following episode. So this one will probably be. I'll probably pull this one in for Monday, unless for some strange reason the James Fox the program documentary comes out before that. Dr. Joseph Burks, this is an interesting interview. He used to work directly with Stephen Greer, and then obviously, as people are wont to do, had a falling out. So let's see. Oh, I don't remember what his warning was in 2025, but the English guy that you're talking about, he actually predicted that Trump would win. Several months ago, and it was based on a dream that he had in like 2015. So he was right. Um, yeah, who knows? Yeah, I haven't heard anything that really happens in 2025, but 2026 are the big years. No, I didn't get his number unless you emailed it to me or something. Um, let's see. Mm-mm. Yeah, I don't see an email or anything like that. All right, but anyway, this is the second one: Intel, counter intel, and UFOs. He talks about his how NHI is operating on the Earth, kind of follow an intelligence model. It's actually pretty darn interesting. Yes, Vidal, you can email. I'm just putting the email address below. Okay, that's the email address. Yeah, I mean, it's a that one's a pretty good. Let me see what else I missed. Could be. I have not. Gray. I'm like so far behind on everything. I definitely had not had a chance to look at that. I think I missed. Yeah, I think the best bet we have for disclosure is to keep putting our attention out. The University of Pray. Then you ask for. Yep, I agree. Let's see. Yeah, I'd rather know than not know. Uh, I don't. Do I think we're in a simulation? I don't know. Uh, it kind of explains everything, but so it's certainly possible. Do I want it to be true? No. But does it matter what I want? No. All right. So this guy is a character, Thomas Monteleone. He ran, just for kind of shits and giggles. He called in a radio station when the guy who made up Indrid Cold was talking. Something Derenberger. I can't remember what the guy's Woody Derenberger. So he called in this guy, Thomas Monteleone, who was a college student, as a prank, called up and said, yes, I know everything that Woody has said here is true because I've also been to Lanulos. And then he kind of got caught in the lie, and it got so bad that eventually the legendary John Keel showed up at his house or his apartment to investigate. And John Keel obviously thought he was, that Tom was full of shit because he was a college student. But then Tom accidentally said something that freaked John Keel out. So you'll have to see this thing just by random accident, or maybe it's not so random, but it's some. I wanted to have an episode where I interviewed somebody who actually perpetrated a UFO hoax because I think it's important for discernment. I think it's important for people to understand the motivations. And by the way, I like Tom a lot. I think he's a good dude because, whenever people caught him at his game, he'd be like, all right, you got me. So anyway, it's a good episode. He's a really interesting guy. He was also mentioned on the Y Files, actually. So, but you'll see that when you go in there. Oh, and by the way, a line that he fed John Keel ended up in the movie The Mothman Prophecies. That's how crazy the story gets. So, all right, and then Dr. Barry Taff is like a PhD from UCLA in like bioengineering, all that stuff, and he has a really interesting, theories for what's causing um, poltergeist activity and things like that. A lot of it has to do with people who are epileptic. There's a component that has to do with negative magnetic anomalies and all sorts of good stuff. So definitely check that one out. Kind of in a similar vein, a continuation of the first interview. And then I finally had a chance to interview Mary Rodwell about the contact phenomena and various people that she's spoken to in the past. And we get a little bit into star seeds and talk about hypnotic regressions. Definitely good stuff. I finally talked to Barry Fitzgerald. We talked about Irish death cults. There's some crazy stuff going on. They think they've kind of nailed down what the phenomena actually is. Hint, hint. It is kind of ultra terrestrial in nature and has been here with us for a very, very, very long time. Okay. Again, this extends off of his prior interview, so Unseen Forces. And then I met with Mac, who also had some weird paranormal experiences going all the way back. This is also linked to kind of the star seeds. Mary Rodwell regressed him. Look, for regressions and hypnotic regressions, I can't. There's no way for me to verify if any of this stuff is true, or if it's coming from people's imaginations or subconscious. But I just give people a sounding board and let them tell their stories. But under hypnotic regression, a lot of crazy stuff came out. Max also, he's an experiencer by definition, and he has a lot of photo and video evidence of orbs, tic tacs, uh, things that look like TR3Bs. He's got a lot of helicopter activity. That sort of stuff that's associated with the phenomenon. I've done a second interview with him as well. I just don't have the thumbnail because I haven't finished editing that. And this will be the penultimate episode, or that episode will be the penultimate episode for the year. And then I just need, I'm interviewing another author who talks about the Dark Man. His name is Dara Mason, which is also pretty. It's like kind of occult stuff. That should be that'll be the last one of those episodes. I hope to record 2. Would be the probably the last episodes of the year, unless I find some more people to interview. So anyway, that is what it is. So oops, nope. Okay, there we go. So that's where we are. Let me get back to the comments. Wow. Okay, let me just get through this. No worries. What do you think is indigestible? Talks about. I think it's just complicated. That's it. I think it's just complicated. And I think he just assumes, I could be wrong, but I think he just thinks most people are stupid. Which I think people could handle it. But I don't know. Unless that's why you have to figure this stuff out for yourself. Because there are bureaucrats like that who are deciding whether or not you can handle it. Fuck that. I can decide whether or not I can handle it. Right? If you don't give me the choice, then I'm just going to figure it out on my own. To whatever consequences that entails. So, yeah, I just don't like the fact that it's not helpful. It doesn't engender trust. It doesn't, if there's a dark side to all this, you're not exactly helping people because you're not making them aware of hidden dangers they might not know about. So let's see. Huh. Okay. Don't know what to make of that, but yeah, I believe that, but you can also look into the light, maybe. I don't know. A lot, a lot could be an egregore, and we could just be feeding it, and that might be why they don't want to talk about it. Yeah, if you stare too much into the abyss, sometimes the abyss stares back. Yep, they can be good or bad depending on what intentions people have. I've tried, have never succeeded. I've been, I tried off and on since I was 12 years old. Nothing. At least consciously, I don't remember. Let's see. Webbot predicted in the 90s that there's going to be a UFO and military fight 37 days after Trump is on the UFO Joe Rogan show. I hope so. I would like to see that because then you kind of really can't hide it. So what was that? 37 days. So sometime in December, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Oh, Cliff I. We'll see, Cliff. We shall see if Cliff is right. So I'm trying to think what else we have going on. Anyway, I can go back. Well, let's do a Q&A, which is pretty normal. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if he does interviews though. I'm not sure how to connect with him. Let me see if I can find. I got banners. Um, yeah, maybe I should look into it. Check email. Okay, just give me a second. What kind of number is that? Okay, so I got Vidal. I got his phone number. I mean, is that an Australian number or is that a U.S. number? That's the one thing I'm not sure about. Let's see. So it was Christopher Robinson. He's a precognitive dreamer who predicted that Trump was going to win based on a precognitive dream. Uh, Interesting. So your corporate trainer, who is ex-Army Special Forces, told me on Tuesday that he's been in skiffs where he's seen bullets with cameras in them. Wow. And he said Immaculate Constellation is probably real. Yes, he was badass. He's salty too. Okay. Yeah, because I know he lives in Singapore. So yeah, I'm not sure where that goes. Anyway. Um just putting this down there. Just obligatory. Anyway. So we're doing on comments. All right. So I guess going back to the whole geopolitical thing, I think Trump and Putin are probably already starting to talk now. Um, in terms of coming to the table in Ukraine and just ending that, like, okay, 6-5. All right. Yeah, generally don't call guests, but I think that might be the only possibility that I have. So Can you all hear that in the background? Huh. Just curious. Can anybody hear that in the background? Maybe not. Not. All right. So I'm trying to think. All right. Yeah. As soon as I asked that question, it went dark. So that might be part of the reason. Yeah. Yeah. It's out of control tonight. It's really, it's not like a negative thing for her, but it's extremely irritating to me. Yeah, I don't like the because it's weird. Like nowadays, it's kind of weird. Um, but I'm not beneath doing it. It's just email is much more less intrusive. But if he puts his phone number up there, it's fair game. Yeah. So we shall see. But since Vidal went to the trouble of getting it to me, I owe it to him to give the guy a call. Yeah. Oh, that's an interesting question. It's a very saturnine question. I don't know. I'd be curious to know the answer. What these black cubes are. Interesting. Yeah, you can. You can try. I don't know if StreamYard or YouTube will let you, but I definitely don't block it. I think he's highly Whitley Strieber is highly intelligent. I've interviewed him twice. Um, I think he's a good dude. I don't know. I don't know. There's no way for me to corroborate his experiences. So, I take them with full knowledge that they could be 100% entirely true or the ravings of a madman. Or he could be working for US intelligence, right? I have no idea. I think he's a good person. But there's just no way for me to verify. I do think that they did find there is evidence that there was like material lodged in his like ear or behind his ear and things like that. So he definitely had some kind of implant. Something definitely happened to him, but yeah, Sarfati's probably talked about it at some point. Almost certainly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, the messed up thing is, as soon as he started his YouTube channel, he was instantly demonetized, which is like absurd. Why would YouTube do that? It's probably because the intelligence community told them to do it. That's my only conclusion. So there's something there. Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's some proof. He's got some proof, but yeah, you should be skeptical. How so? How so? Is it not? How is his permanent akashic record not good? Yeah, but you're gonna have to explain the statistics to me though, because I'm not. But yes, tell me what the statistics are, and then just tell me what each one means, because I'm not familiar with any of the methodology. Like, I've seen you post things like this before, but I don't know what each descriptor means. Jude, I used to work for the government. I was an army officer for 5 years, so you know, just treat me with skepticism too. Yeah, yeah, exactly. There should be even more. Okay, what's this? Called S Force responsible for, yeah. No, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by that because uh, Elizondo's dad used to work with Castro, and then Castro burned him. Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right. But Jalea, what are Whitley's stats? Well, yeah, that's why you have to be careful if you mess with any of this stuff, because who knows what's talking to you, what it's telling you, if it's true, if it's manipulating you. Yeah, I saw. I watched that. Uh, that's some creepy stuff. Did you watch the Kamala video about her concession speech on the same channel? Watch that. That's super creepy. Okay, not honorable. Truth, but a truth not able. Huh. First level of major cube, second level, second coilum. What does that mean? I don't know who Chandler Gate is. Um, but Lou was a counterintelligence officer. So his job, he's a spy catcher. So one thing that spy catchers do is they set honeypots. So I'm more skeptical of Lou Elizondo for that reason than any other. Right? Like that's what he would have done during a 20 or 30-year career as a counterintelligence specialist. So there may be stuff he's saying that's true, but there may be stuff that he's saying just to provoke people into, exposing people who are talking too much. So I don't know. Oh, nice. Thank you for putting stuff on Before It News, Solite. That actually helps the channel a lot. Yeah. Hmm. And Jalea, how do you get these stats? Where do they come from? Is it from like numerology, from the name? Like, how does it work? Oh man, don't tell me about financial meltdowns. Good God. Ugh. I hope he's wrong. Wow. So somebody may have set him up. That's also possible. Yes, Richard Doty was definitely counterintelligence. Mm. No, I don't have time. I wake up, I work until I go to sleep because I'm doing so many different things. And if I want to continue to have this channel, I just don't have. I mean, I don't even get any chance to exercise. I don't get outside. I don't. I like go down, wake up, go down to my desk, stay there all day, and then go to sleep. And I do that 7 days a week. Um, so yeah, I don't have time. Yeah, Doty's counterintelligence through and through. Yeah. All right. What other geopolitical stuff? I didn't even talk about the border. So uh, I expect Trump to shore that up as soon as possible because what was happening was completely unacceptable. There might be like an executive order that he passes immediately. Then he's got to round up all the people who are here but shouldn't be. The U.S. border. Um, the other thing that he's probably going to need to do. This will actually be interesting, but yeah, that's fair. That's a totally fair. We definitely don't have one now. The other thing that he's going to have to do is, or he should do, is pardon most of the people that were caught up in the January 6th scam. Um, I mean, that was a clear, Fed surrection, Fed operation. So those people should be pardoned, unless they actually physically harmed somebody. But if they just wandered into the Capitol building and idiot wonder as the cops open the doors for them, like those people, their records should be pardoned and expunged. That's ridiculous. So, but we'll see. Yeah, I think he's an interesting guy. I think Cliff High is a very interesting guy. I don't know what to make of him, but he's definitely a pretty interesting guy. I'm trying to think what other major issues that we have globally. Um, uh, so there's the episode that I have with that's a pretty good tee up. The episode that I have with Nathaniel Gillis that's coming up, we talk about he talks about Casa Ramirez. So that's pretty interesting. Well, yeah. What else? What else do they expect? Of course, Russia's going to use them as decoys and expendable because they kind of are. The World Economic Forum. I do not like the World Economic Forum. Yeah, it just made Americans hate the regime. That's what it did. It made Americans start calling the U.S. government the regime. Yeah, go nuts. Yeah, I agree. It's gonna be messy though. Nothing. They're gonna like smile and glad hand them because that's how these sniveling elites are. Yeah. So anyway, I hope I didn't go too deep into politics. I just um this is not a time to gloat. It's not a time to it's just a time to think forward. But also he has to survive. First he has to survive until election day. The other thing that he has to do is he has to, hopefully this Jamie Raskin doesn't try to, you know, weaponize his 14th Amendment Section 3 gimmick. It's the most ridiculous thing in the world. Like, it was meant to prevent people from Robert E. Lee from running as president, who like actually led, an insurrection where 600,000 Americans on both sides died. Like, it was meant to handle serious things like that. But, for this like faux insurrection where the only person killed that day is somebody, somebody who was without a weapon, shot at point blank range from a coward, hiding, like, come on. Maybe that guy should be, actually, I would love to see that guy prosecuted. Yeah, there could be some Israel and Iran conflict, especially since Trump killed Soleimani. Yeah, it's kind of an anomaly. It's a really strange anomaly where 15 million votes suddenly materialized and then dematerialized. David Metcalf. All right, I'll look into him. I know, but I don't want to overdo it. People aren't here to hear about politics. I'm only bringing it up because it has some bearing on the current geopolitical situation, which is on point for this particular podcast, as well as it has some impact on the UAP hearings. So I think it's important. Sure. Yeah, feel free to send. Um, yeah, there's definitely going to be trouble. I mean, that's almost guaranteed. But yeah, definitely send me a link to that. I'd be interested in watching it. All right. I don't have much more to add or say at this point. So if anybody has anything they want me to talk about, I can, but probably wrap things up in a few minutes, a minute or two maybe, and then just kind of keep on keeping on. But I'm relieved. I'm relieved that we've gotten through this. Yeah, and that it wasn't. Because I think if the Democratic Party won this time, I don't think it would have been real. Because it's just the last 4 years have been such a disaster, just objectively, and they use you know the media were in their pocket. Um, the substance, interesting. All right, everyone. Good night, all, and I will see you. Hopefully. Well, I will see you on Sunday evening. I still don't have a guest, so it might be another one of those episodes where I just kind of freestyle again. But we will definitely see. So, good night, all. Sleep tight and don't let the bed bugs bite. Um,